Sorry about that. Really needed to clear my throat that last second there. Right, let's continue to do whatever the hell I was going to do. Alright, well, we should completely block this. So we don't need to bother blocking off completely. We just need to do the one layer first, and then they should be able to get the rest of it done. You would hope so, anyway. Right, come on. Someone build these bloody bits of scaffolding so they can help them survive, damn it. They're just fucking around. We need more builders. That's what we need. There we go. Let's get 2 more builders to see if they can actually accomplish the job that apparently the other builders are too incompetent to complete. There are so many dead spiders. This is absurd. I'm making those annoying cotton eating sounds again. I'm not sure if you can hear it. Hopefully you cannot, because they sound like... No, the idea of eating cotton just came into my mind. Right, anyway. I'm not too sure if anyone else gets the weird sensation or idea of eating cotton. It's so soft. It's really annoying. For me, that's a bit of a weird thing, I suppose. There's lots more spiders over here. This is great. I much prefer spiders to spawn than I do skeletons, just because they're a little bit less of a pain in the ass. Unfortunately, they do leave quite a lot of corpses around. Now I'm looking at spiders and I'm thinking, wait, what the hell? I would not be able to sleep if there was a massive spider like that nearby. Even if it was dead. You slept on one of them. Oh, God. That's horrid. Alright. That's fine. What are you doing, Lumberjack? More? You're, like, mooring around. Why? And we need more mind carts. Mind carts. Get the mind carts. I suppose once we get the other layer done, we don't need to worry about this too much. Do we need to do more mining? Not really. We could change a few people from... most people from miners to builders now. There we go. Unfortunately, one of the builders that I got previously was Efrel, who was apparently the one of them that was stuck. Great. So we have this little bit right here. What we can do, just to make this look a little bit cooler, is we can mine out the sections along here that sort of disconnected slightly. Or we can pause and... no, yeah, we need to mine those up. Because then what we can do is have this kind of effect, which does look really good. And we'll continue to use that effect up here as well. If we just mine all this up. And then we can just place some normal stone up there. And it should be able to connect rather nicely. Now we just need to get that lot, and then we should be fine. We are missing a pinch right there, unfortunately. For some reason, the game has just started to lag a little bit. Are we okay, game? Oh, go away. The mist is coming. I don't like the idea of the mist coming. I imagine there's probably more enemies that have just spawned. We can ignore them for the time being. We have the ability to do so. Of course, we have the ability to do a lot. Wait, is that a flower over there that I've just not seen throughout the entire series? Okay, it's like some wild wheat. Oh yeah, just a few sort of wild wheats or whatever. Just sort of by themselves. Never been touched. Have I really ever looked beyond this hill? I've never paid attention to it. I could have got a lot of minerals from this. Look, there's lots of them just chilling out up there. There's a single tree that has never been touched since its inception. Look at that. I don't know why I'm looking at a tree. It looks really weird. I'm just sort of going around like it looks like all the other trees. Not that I'm a tree racist. Like I'm a tree racist. You could be a tree racist. I like to leave that bit cleaner, just because there's a fence there, so it looks a little bit nicer. And then what we can do is go out of the stone menu, then back into the stone menu, because that will increase efficiency, obviously. Alright, and then we'll go up by one layer there. Get rid of the scaffolding. Continue to play the game, since it paused itself. Probably because there was once again a spider nearby, and we don't like spiders. Scaffolding time. How are we going to do this? Well, it's similar to what we have right here. It's just going to sort of be a few platforms and bits of wood sticking out. I think a good idea is to maybe have one right there, and then maybe a long one across here. And then this one could stick out slightly. Yeah, I like the idea of that. Let's have this one stick out ever so slightly. So we mine this out. Maybe this bit. No, it should stick out completely. Just a little bit. Well, that section can remain disconnected. just noticed this bit. Just sort of curious if I keep it there. Mostly I shouldn't keep it there, because, yeah. But the only reason I'm thinking I should keep it there is because I'm lazy. I will leave the mine as it is now, although I might make it a little bit more as if it's being mined out. So let's get a little bit more stone. Here we go, construction, stone. So what we can do is block these bits off, and then just sort of place stone about. There we go. And that should look a little bit clean. Well, not cleaner, but the point is to not have it be clean. So look a little bit, it should look, hopefully anyway, a little bit more like a quarry. Now what we can do is stick the timbered floor out ever so slightly. So if we do that, let's get the flooring, timbered floor. Probably only about that much. And then this corner right here, we can stick out. What we need to think about, though, is deleting the corners, because this is where some scaffolding is going to be sticking out. So that bit right there and that bit right there is going to be scaffolding to keep it all up. So we'll do that. One right here. And then we might fence them off slightly. As for this location, what we can do is have a bit of scaffolding here. Probably not up this high, though. Yeah, I like the idea of it sort of being a little bit lower. Add a few different layers. Let's come back and get ourselves the timbered floor again. Should be timber planks instead. I think it should be. And at the same time, the timber planks I think should cover this entire area. That might look a little bit more interesting. And then along here we might want to do the same thing, but have it be a little bit lower, sticking out somewhat more. Should it stick out by that much? I don't mind that. More spiders supposedly around here. I want this one to stick out, but be the timbered floor, because it sort of makes sense with the little frame that we have right here. At the same time, what we want to do is change this little nib, I suppose, into timbered floor. And then what we could do is maybe have a fence along here, or this could be where the thing sticks out. I said I wasn't going to make a crane, but I'm starting to think it might look kind of cool with one. Would it though? I think this does look a lot nicer with the timber planks. Unfortunately, it looks like you can't get out. Oh, we just made it. Oh no, you should have been fine. That's fine then. You should have been fine. That's fine then. It's kind of difficult to say that. It would look a lot more quarry-ish or esque with one, so I'm going to make one. Probably out of the castle brick, or maybe umber brick. I'll tell you what, no, castle brick as the base. So if we pause right now, if we get a base, which should really be like that. I don't mind it being slightly off by one. Should the base be like that or slightly bigger? I think slightly bigger. So middle's like this, and then we go up by one more. I haven't really got a good idea for this crane. Nothing's coming to mind. I mean, we're going to have to make a... We're going to have to make it look like it can turn 360 degrees. It's going to also need a counterweight. It's going to be interesting. That's why I'm thinking of making it out of wood, because then I can make... It would look better with stone as a counterweight. All I could do is actually have some stone as the counterweight, which would look pretty interesting. But I think the pole itself, what we need to do... Merv, stop it! Oh god, get out! Get out of there! No, don't say hello to me, you piece of shit. Get out. I can't deal with you eating more cotton. Even though you're not eating cotton, you're like destroying my bed. Get out. Come here. Say hello to everyone. Tell them I'm not cruel to you. Ow! Why do you hurt me? Right. Fly! There we go. Right. Anyway, that was random. Right. Right. I keep saying right now. Let's take a drink. Let's do a reset. Oh. Right, that's my reset. Now what I need to do is try and make a crane. What I feel like doing is not having this middle section first. There we go. We can have this bit stick out by 1 on each end. Should it be each end? Yeah, it should be on each end. And then we can switch over to umber brick for the middle. Should this be where the crane pole is? Or should it transition into wood? Probably would be a good idea for it to transition into wood. Or the main bit at the top can be made out of wood. That sounds pretty cool. Might want to do that. Yeah, I like that. We have to get this done first. So if we just sort of start, see how this works out. Meanwhile, let's see. What kind of wood do we wish to use? I suppose the pale brick would look quite nice as the counterweight. Mossy, full timber. We could use full timber. I'm trying to think of a stable looking wood. I only really want to use wood because it's going to help distinguish the top. I'm sort of more worried about how I'm going to make it look like it's picking anything up, since fences are bugged out. Or they don't really work in a particular way. I don't know. I have to think about it. However, what I could use is the timbered tiles. No, timber tiles. Flat stone. It's going to have to probably be the kind of full timber. Full timber looks a lot like timbered floor, and I don't think I really want to have that. Let's go back to flooring. We could use the timber planks. Flatstone Flatstone might look pretty good as the counterweight. Now that I think about it, that definitely should be a good. No, that definitely would be a great idea. I guess I should go for the timbered planks. So what I want to have is sort of this. I mean, is this going to make it look like it turns? I don't know. It looks more like a holy monument. What I want to do is... I kind of like the idea of it being on a sort of flat base, though. Not the buttery biscuit base, but, you know, it's on one. Utility, scaffolding. Let's make sure there's just several ways to get up and down. Tell you what, the scaffolding might look kind of good to the addition of it. Right, now what we can do is probably use the... I still don't know what kind of wood I want to use here. Maybe I don't use wood. I'm starting to think that now. I don't think there's a wood type I want to use that the game provides. But what I could use is this fieldstone, or the timbered brick. I'm trying to sort of find if I've used anyway. There we go. This sort of timbered brick right here. Nah, it looks too crumbled and castle wall-like. Everything looks crumbled and castle wall-like. It's unfortunate we don't have logs in this version. Pale brick. It's going to have to be full timber. That's fine. I'll just make it out of full timber. Then what we can do is have it stretch out by about that much. Should it be more? I don't think it should be more. This is going to stretch out by 5, which means this should stretch out by at least an extra 2. There we go. So we've got this sort of cool counterweight effect. Getting the actual bit underneath, though, that's going to be quite interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Now let's get some scaffolding, and let's just make an absurd way to get up and down. Is it going to be an absurd way to get up and down? I think so. What I'm going to do is this. There we are. Very expensive. Well, not expensive, but just I might want to pause first before I continue with this. There we go. Stop the scaffolding from being mass-produced. There we are. And that's an easy way to get scaffolding done. Now, I believe we will also want to have some Umber brick. Do you want Umber brick or some castle brick? I think because we're using Umber brick as the base, we want to use that. Some Umber brick to sort of go around it like this. So it perhaps looks like they can sort of slot in a new, whatever this thing would be called. Maybe. I don't know. It gives it sort of a more structural effect, which I do quite like. So it's going to look really weird, but oh well. Looks more like a totem. Does look like it slots in though, which is quite nice. What am I using here? Full timber? Okay. It does look slightly different to... No, it doesn't look any different. Okay. Just because it's not as well put together. I do feel like using something other than timber planks here though. It looks too bright. And at the same time getting rid of these little corners that are sticking out. I don't like them. So we will do that as well. Let's come over here. There we go. Get rid of them. Right. Are you having trouble getting up there, sir? I will help you on your journey. There we go. We'll get the counterweight in first, because it will be a little bit easier. I just don't know how to do it, though. It's just the problem with fences right now. I'm going to have to... I could try the fences, but I don't think it's going to work out. So I might just end up using scaffolding here instead. We can use the scaffolding and then have the... Did I say pale brick was... It looks heavy, that's the thing. It does look very heavy. And they're just sort of 2 blocks of pale brick. Or 1 block, I guess. This is going to look rather odd. How could I make this look a little bit better? Can I make this look better? I could give it sort of a more boulderish shape. So what I could do is... Let's pause the game first before I go too nuts. Right, let's just get an easy way to get over here first. Utility scaffolding. So around about this level. Should do the trick. And we'll just make another way to get up easily. There we go. Lots of scaffolding. And then from here, what I could do is go across by 2. Like that. Another one right there. Another one right here. And then right below that, we can have our stone. And that should look quite nice. Apparently a goblin marauder has been spotted near Carl White. Okay. Thankfully, our entire force is here. Well, not an entire force, but our army seems to be mostly on guard. Not really an army, is it? Easy. No problems. Although I did see quite a bit of red damage right there, which is a bit of a worry. I wonder if that's the marauder from Marauder Island. Oh no, there's a goblin over there. And apparently Cakeling. Okay, I thought Cakeling was a... I was going to say zombie there. Was a goblin. Thankfully not. We will, however, send our Farkas right here. Our glorious warrior Farkas. Go and take out that goblin. Meanwhile, see where the other goblins are hiding. Seems like the majority of them are over here. Dangerously close to our farmers. The marauder's still stuck on the island. That's good to see. Yeah, it's just this one that's sort of in the way. Spider spotted near more. Okay, maybe not. They want more spiders. Made that joke every time I've mentioned more in an episode. Well, not in an episode. In a session, I'd make a more joke. Okay, not all the time. Okay. I wasn't paying attention there that much. I was mostly worried about my hydration, which I am now fine. So they just need to get that little bit sticking out there, which is annoying me. So much scaffolding. Let's get rid of the bit at the bottom because it's making it look kind of unclean. I can't get a good idea of what I'm looking at. Yeah, getting rid of those timber planks might be a good idea. Let's keep going. Let's see where we can go. Utility. From this side, we can sort of stick out ever so slightly, round about there. I suppose we don't need to stick out like that, but it just makes life a little bit simpler. And then we should be able to mine up that, well, build up that last bit of scaffolding, hopefully. And then get the pale brick installed. Come on, you can do it. I need you to believe. See, you believed. You believed. There we are. Now for the pale brick. Which I'm hoping looks pretty good. Not the ember brick, no, pale brick. There we go. Something about it just looks very heavy. I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe it's that marble look. But I'm not sure if marble is considered heavy. Something tells me it's not. Oh, okay. Wait for them to construct all the little bits first before we muck around with it more. I don't think they can. They're having a few issues. Why are they getting so stuck? There we go. Oh, a goblin marauder has been spotted. Near Farkas, apparently. Spotted by Morrigan, which I believe is one of our farmers. Yep, it is. Okay. Tell you what, we'll send our warriors over here just to deal with them. Do we need to send all of them or just two? Just two should do the job. We'll send Finette and Usk. They've all been fighting for a very long time. So they should be able to conquer the goblins. They have done so before. Mostly we're just stopping the farmers from going into an induced rage. Which tends to happen. Quite frequently, unfortunately. Usk, you're only going over there because I selected you to go over here when you were too far away. When I was too far away. Yeah, it seems like you're missing those little bits there because you can't get to them. That's a little bit annoying. And what we can do is get some scaffolding up here. There we go, that might help out. Might look a little bit messy, but everything looks kind of messy. At the moment, that is, while we finish off construction. Come on, hurry up. I didn't notice these two bits before. Was this part of our old... when we filled up the moat for the center of our town right here? Is that what that bit was? The way that we filled it up? I think so. It looks very familiar. That was back in episode 18. Every time I think about filling up the moat, I always believe it's episode 50 or something like that. A little bit later on to the series, but it wasn't that far in. I think mostly because for some reason I insinuated with the castle being finished when it wasn't really the case. We just finished the moat, which took forever, by the way. And ended up looking like an alien. Which I respect. I respect that alien. I don't think you understand the level of respect I have for that alien. Okay, okay. Finette, I'm not sure what you're doing. You're having a few problems, though. There we go. I just stopped a bloody scratch Merv. And then it's like, oh no. Finette. She's going for PTSD. She can't do it. She's froze. You can do it, Finette. Conquer. Once you get back home, we will give you the mental health services that you need. We'll get you back into shape. Don't you worry, Finette. We will save you. We will bring you back to the light. It will be like Darkest Dungeon. I think that's it. Other than I think there's a goblin in the woods over there, but we do have some... oh, that's a sheep. not really a goblin, is it? Go to guard positions, please. And get rid of this Ravager. There's probably another goblin chilling out somewhere, but we're fine with that at the moment. Right, pause. Okay, and then what we can do is get the last little bit stuck on the end right here of the pale brick. So that bit. That bit. That bit. And then what we want is a little bit in the middle just to stick out down there. To give it a little bit more weight. And that will be our little counterweight. Whether or not it looks silly, we will find out. Apparently Finette has... Okay, no, just for some reason paused. What's going on? Okay. It looks like Al's tried to sleep, but Nelria just decided, Nelria the lazy. It's been a while since we've seen you sleep. Look at that. Absolute bastard. Get out of here. I'm going to sneeze. Is it coming back? Nope, it's gone. There we go. Well, it's not gone, but it went. There we go, you can move again. Nelria, get the hell out of this house. You sit down. What's your tired at? What is your tired at? Oh, you're going to sit down in that chair. Okay, that's pretty cozy. Well, I would sit down in this chair. Look at that. It's very cozy in here. I mean, unfortunately, you can hear the kids sort of mining in the back right there, but that's fine. Also, there's a giant hole in your room. There's a bookcase and a very comfortable bed that apparently has some layer to it. Okay, there's a bit poking up right there. Why is that bit in the middle? Why is it not flat? It's just sort of poking out. Okay, that's fine. I don't care about it. Maybe it's some sort of underquilt. Underquilt. Get your underquilt today. Right, that's all the pale bricks. All we can do is get rid of all the scaffolding around us. Pause. To see what this looks like. Let's make sure we don't delete the scaffolding up there. I was pretty much just about to. Yeah, oh fuck. Okay, I thought that bit was put in, apparently not. Let's go back to utilities. They should be able to get to that by just mining from there, if not from here. Now for the little, I suppose, platform. Now the platform's going to have to be probably only 3 blocks across. It shouldn't be too crazy. What we'll do is we'll come from here. Let's keep the game paused for a second. Actually, that's not bad from there. Yes, that's pretty good. Maybe out by 1 more, but in this direction. There we go. So we just poke out. That's 4 blocks high, though, unfortunately. Do you want to go up there? There we go. We'll go 1 block higher just to get that little bit that I'm going to need. Okay, so we'll do the same thing, just scaffolding sticking down. Only this is going to have to be a few layers. In fact, I might want to do it from here first. So I think all the way down to about there is pretty good. Is that right? Or do we want to have the scaffolding start off there? I don't know. Tell you what, the scaffolding is really good right there. I do like that. I just feel like this end could be something else. I'm going to change this to stone instead. I think that's probably what's missing here. It feels like you would put some sort of latch, or there would be some sort of better suited mechanism to keep the main platform connected. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. The main platform's going to be made out of the timbered planks. And it should be a 3x3. There we go. Oh, down here. Sorry, I'm intensively looking at this right now. I just caught myself just sort of driveling. Oh, I can't wait to see this. That kind of thing. Very excited. It will look a lot better once we fill up the space, though. For now, it seems a bit messy. Especially this bit. We need to fill it up with lots of crates just to get rid of some of the space. I do like this little entrance, though. It does help out.